It's our only real diagnostic on what we can. The microphone's muted so that I can talk to you because it's gonna hear me.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose! Hey.
30 seconds left.
I have the spike.
Spike down, B. One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left.
One more? Sorry, buddy, it's over.
Enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
Player standing.
my day. You forget, I always play high stakes. Should do. That goes there.
Thirty seconds left.
Right there.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Shadows traveling.
And
Gus, Stream is back.
Green is back, but we didn't have Mike. We were trying to figure stuff out. But guess what? It's figured out now. So we are on round 8. Scoreline, if you haven't noticed, 3-4. KC starting to take control of this path.
Going a little bit back and forth, allowing ourselves to kind of see both teams punishing different mistakes. But now Casey just trying to pick up a little bit of their aggression.
Yeah, and you've seen
Oh
my
yeah!
side.
Monster on the loose!
Spike planted.
Situation now in the hands of BC. DK trying to get a little bit aggressive, but gets called back, reeled in, trying to cool down. That's on fire right now. Again, 5, trying to get that 2.0 KD at the end of this round. But once again, a plant in the feeling area. Seems really nice pick from Banjo.
Last player standing.
Nice, well, Cypher case.
This is less than I
One enemy remaining.
But Svasti does clean it up. The question is...
Overall, a good fight, both sides here, but definitely seeing how these two duelists are just able to get the impact off of this early util when they're coming into the site. And so far, in the past few rounds, HT have not been able to find an answer to combat what they're doing to enter these sites, these strong pushes.
Yeah, and I like the idea of trying to take teammate control with the nade and the paranoia. Because you don't have that Cypher, but when you're not taking that control, and you're just giving up that space, it seems as though High Tide has had a difficult time holding B. So I'd be interested to see if this chamber from Tavasi can switch, switch around the map a little bit, or have Tavasi and Aki, take some A main control so that the rest of the team doesn't need to worry about A and can just focus on holding B. But even then,
was able to find a great pick on Tavasi early on that side. And now
another pick from Aki. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess another early pick from Aki. Not only on this round, but look at the space that High Tide had. No, Aki is able to find one. Can't find two. An unfortunate whiff. That's a really tough situation to be in. A lot of players on the screen don't know who to aim at.
30 seconds left.
Drag could find a nice timing here on the Cypher, does find the Cypher. So now it's a 2v2 situation. Petrichor gets caught with their util, but this is very much winnable. You have Swerve, very weak. You have Otter, extremely weak as well. But what a TP. TP'd behind. Wow, and Drag has the heads up play and is aware that... Oh my gosh.
My. Quite the play from Drag. Able to... I mean, getting that defuse is huge, especially when you're down in numbers.
Sorry, you're still ringing.
HT made a big mistake after being down 4-5. We got to 4-4, but their over-aggression is what allowed them to go down to, I think it was 3-2 in that round. But Drag seriously clutched that round. I don't know how she was able to get that flip onto the Omen after that amazing TP, but huge clutch for Drag, able to even out the score just a little bit.
Yeah, and really monumental round because they would have gone into a full save. It's still not a perfect buy, but with a round win, at least you come out. Oh man, Tavasi gets dropped by Trico. And Aki is going to get dropped as well now with that. with the gecko ult. Just a morning shot now. Petrichor find a really nice timing. Doesn't want to go for the knife. Tries to find another pick. Can't find one, but is going to get a gun. Trico is finally going to get that kill on Petrichor, who did some damage, but was never enough to pick up the final kill on VK. Another round goes into the hands of KC.
Decent damage there for the save round. Drag not able to clutch this round this time, but still overall KC finding some great early aggression.
Yeah, and I said at the start of the series, I think the X factor for KC is going to be Honda Sleep, aka Otter, and right now leaving a little bit to be desired. So I'm really hoping to see Otter pick it up in this next half. They've gotten 2 kills in the previous round, so clearly there's some momentum that could be shifting into KC's way. But even then, Byzantine sitting at 8-6, and that could just be the reason why KC is up 6-4. Oh, Tavasi might have seen VK. VK takes a bullet, but can't connect with any of them. Really nice ult from coming out from Trico. However, they get team blinded from
Both paranoias coming in.
yeah, Curb's paranoia. So now it's just going to be a spam fest through these smokes. The question is who can connect their bullets. And it looks like it's going into the hands of KC once again. So a 5-2 lead on the round. There is a Gecko ult online, so if somebody can get picked up, which doesn't look like to be the case, Aki could choose to use this ult, but I feel like it's not going to be the one. Finds one on Trico, and now it's a 1v4 situation. Everybody playing for this post-plant spam. And I think that's going to prompt Aki to save here.
Yeah, we've been seeing two different types of tempos from KC. Either they have really fast early aggression and push off the bossy ankles, or they just play a slow default, kind of get a feel of where everyone is.
Last round
VK
before the
almost got
switch.
punished by bossy pushing out a main, but still have the discipline to kind of back out of situation and rotate, take their team to B.
And I like the idea of High Tide pushing out and trying to take some A control, but you know, more times than not, it's
Right
looking
there.
like Casey is getting this bomb down on B, and Casey just can't hold it without the Cypher, or is failing to play this retake. So see if they find an answer for it this round. But Tavasi's clearly switched sites now and has been spotted from Byzantine Cypher Camp. So the question is, do they now choose to hit A? However, this is going to be the stacked site, so the question is, oh, what a pick from Banjo. Who is going to find the open pick? And that is Banjo. However, it's a 4v4 situation at this point. Rico is very low in HP though, but guns are still in favor of KC.
And again, just KC just switching up the tempo, having a really fast round, that last round, but able to kind of get a feel of they found the shader twice, away from the shader twice.
Yeah, and an interesting Gecko plant without any control on site, but after finding one, Otter is going to go down and see Rurb finding two on the round so far. It is Tavasi, however, and we have players weak. Rurb not at the healthiest situation, and Trico definitely wishing they had a little bit more health. Oh, BK is going to spot Tavasi through the smoke, and with a couple connections, is going to bring this to an 8-4 half in favor of KC.
Yeah, we're just seeing how they're just having complete reliance just on one initiator. They're using the Omen Blind, Gecko Flash, and the two duelists who are able to just push anything what they want, and they've been finding success with it so far. Having a slow start just kind of getting feel 2 rounds in a row now, like I mentioned, get a feel of where the chamber is, get some information about how the site is being held, and now they're taking advantage of playing away from those troops, playing away from the aggressive angles that Tavasi likes to have.
Yeah, and you see the double duelist comp. You expected to see a strong half from KC on their attack, especially without the Cypher. The question is, oh my, wow, the fact that Tavasi almost came out of that with the kill is quite impressive, leaving VK at 22 health, so at least got some damage down. But the question is, does High Tide have the firepower to win their attacking half at least 8-4? Petrichor finds a really nice early pick on Byzantine with a TP over the course. And now it's a 4v4 situation, technically in favor of High Tide here. Due to that, oh my goodness. Oh no, but VK finds one on Petrichor, and Aki just barely whiffs onto Rurb and VK. So 2 players now left extremely weak, but it's a 2v4 situation nonetheless. Banjo finds one, trying to find a second. Drag finds one as well, so now it's all up to Drag. VK's weak, and Aki is sticking, but VK with the 3K. VK with that 3K? Okay, I like that, I like that. I should be a rapper.
VK with a 3K. He had a more aggressive rounds you would see from any jet on a pistol. Just absolutely ran it down in mid tiles and absolutely punished Tavasi, knifed out, not able to find any value from trying to lurk up, getting information mid, but then also just taking that info that Sentinel's down, there's going to be no trips, they have to just flood over to B and take it with ease.
Absolutely. And winning pistols was a really important part of High Tide's attacking half, trying to bring this one into a winnable situation. I'm not saying they're out of it yet. However, it's starting to look grim now, being down 5 rounds. They could really use an eco here. Petrichor trying to find a pick onto Otter, but Otter's playing this extremely disciplined, knowing that there's a trip here that they can play off of. High Tide gathering now in towards A. And nobody is really contesting it, but do they need to? I don't think so.
Yeah, they're definitely playing passive. They don't want to make any kind of mistakes. They're hard to make stuff. If they could,
One enemy
keeping
remaining.
straight into heaven and not holding it. Definitely a very strong buy around here for KCB. Just
Yeah.
carrying the patient.
I would say...
Don't make the mistakes, let them make the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that strong is a good way to put it. You see double kill from Trico, double kill from VK, sitting there with the Outlaw that could still very much do some damage into this round. And an unfortunate mistake from Petrichor, like you said, teleporting into mid right in front of Otter, who has brought it back from 2 and 7 to 8 and 8. So really great comeback to see from the side of KC and Otter. But now, once again, we have a push onto this B site. Tavasi trying to be the one to find this opening pick. Sees the trip, breaks it, and escapes with their life. Question is, can Drag find one? D-Rub doesn't hear the jump up. But this is there to the trade. Before misses. Oh, but that gets the trade. So now, once again, a 3v3 situation with bomb down, not playing the typical post-plant spam strategy that you see so popular nowadays. It's going to be up to Aki, who does find one, finds two. Can they find VK? No, Tavasi finds VK instead, but nonetheless, a round for High Tide. Hopefully a momentum shifter if you are a fan of HT Crest.
Yeah, what we saw a little bit different that we haven't really been seeing the past few rounds for Crest is playing a little bit more as a team. Instead of swinging individual angles, trusting each other, playing with each other, and using that detail to get the site. If you're able to get the bomb down, make the proper trades, and just play back. That's exactly what PC was doing. Now they're following suit, kind of playing a little slower, getting a goal and then attacking.
And VK holding an op now. So for the side of KC, VK has a very aggressive angle, and KC can now choose to hold A somewhat aggressively. However, that is not the case anymore because VK is now in no man's land, holding nothing with the op. Switching to Foundation to find a pick here. Rico does find one before going down, and what an excellent flash and peek from Otter, aka Honda Sleep, finding two, maybe even a collab at that. So now it's up to Petrichor, who was recently punished from teleporting past that trip. Opts not to do it this time. 2v4
They
situation.
can't activate Karen Market. Oh, you'd be able to
They've
get
below it.
got that
Oh, one person gets spotted though,
not getting any value just yet.
and Aki can't find one either. So now they're trying to fight this 2v2 on site. Has missed opportunities. Wow, what an adjustment from Seaverb, and gets two. Bomb doesn't even go down, so no plant money for the side of HT. And now it's starting to look grim for High Tide.
Yeah, what we saw there from KC on A site, they had people playing from A main and from forgive me, that long angle, able to trade off of each other. So Trico was able to get that initial pick, got traded, but then the Rays were able to find the two other kills and just eliminating any kind of aggression that HT was trying to find getting to A site.
Yeah, leaving that into a 2v4. Wow, what a early pick from top mid by VK with the op. Petrichor getting punished on that lurk. So now, once again, in a man disadvantage is High Tide, and a gun disadvantage as well, with Drag holding a Bucky of all guns. Raze has some crazy acrobatics that could utilize.
Honestly, it's the lurk of a lifetime.
Yeah,
able to
this
get all the way to spawn. This
is crazy. Could find
Did
two
he
if they
get
have the
two?
trigger discipline. No way, they were almost aware.
one. Almost
Can't
had
find
two
two. Gets their 1.5 though, which is definitely necessary to start to bring this round back. But you still have an ult from Aki, but Trico having an ult of their own, this
Thanks, Wing.
retake could be huge. With weaker weapons, can High Tide pull this one out? Definitely going to need some heroics. However, if Drag can find a kill, they will have their ult online, and that is a kill found. So Drag has an ult, so does Aki. This is 100% winnable. Gets a pick. Now it's a 1v1 situation, and Aki clutches up without even needing to use their ult. So 6-11 in favor of KC still. But that is a tough one to lose.
Definitely, and the value that Tabasi was able to find lurking easily from A into A all the way to their spawn. So close to finding two, but able to get all the information. Hey, A is wide open, let's take it. And then Drag at the end there, finding the massive clutch, as well as Aki getting those last 2 kills needed. Absolutely brought them back into this game.
Yeah, a huge round from Drag in particular. Getting one with the bucket, able to find essentially a kill trade on themselves with that Raze ult was massive. The question is, can Otter find this early pick on Tavasi, who has been lurking? Wow, Tavasi gets the dink through the wall, but unfortunately that's not enough to secure the kill. Oh, but Trico finds one, can't find the spray transfer, so Petrichor gets that trade. And the players are still weak. Tavasi gets one on Otter as well, finally finishing that kill. So a 3v4 situation, VK has knives up, and there was no flank watch in play. So the question is Aki aware? Unfortunate whiffs from VK, so Aki is able to recover and finds a kill in the 4v2 situation, and now it's all to see where we can't get it done. Really well played round off the back of Tavasi and Aki.
So just a simple case of not being able to hit your shots. Tavasi, again, punching, being able to get those first angles, getting that first blood, allows them to comfortably hit site as a team. No more lurking, so to say, that they would play that round as a team, playing together, able to find huge value out of that ult, and now only down 4 rounds, they finally have a groove.
Absolutely. Now if VK can find one with this Marshall, that would have been huge, but can't connect, unfortunately. And this is the first round in a long time that KC is forced to save here. So a strong exec coming out from the side of High Tide, and Aki finds 2 on the entry, allowing both Drag and Petrichor to get onto some pretty dynamic spots on site. Now in a 4v2 situation, Drag trying to find an extra ult orb, gets shut down by Byzantine, so finds one nonetheless. Byzantine now opting for the Sheriff instead of the Stinger. And now, a Vandal. Still, once again, this spammy spot, but there is a Cypher ult online, so I wouldn't count them out. Trico does find one, though, so if this team can find a kill, which they do, this could be huge. And it's not planted for Tavasi, who can't get the kill. But there's no time! What a round! Somehow, KC has failed to win this round.
I mean, that is a save round there for KC, but I wonder if the time, we weren't able to see from our perspective, I wonder if there still was time for them to hold that defuse.
I think there was. Especially when it wasn't planted for them. I understand trying to tap it, but surely the play was at least get it half, then in that situation you can
You want to play? Let's play.
potentially secure one. VK might, his shoulder might be peeking. Can't find one, but takes the aggressive angle and is able to get the information that drags and rotates onto here. Oh, but Banjo doesn't clear VK, from the corner, however, VK still chooses to leave. What a shot from Tavasi. Really well played positioning from Tavasi to catch that rotate and find a kill. So now a 4v1 situation. Can't find another one. Does. On VK of all players. So a 5v3 situation. 3 ults online for the side of KC still. So it's not impossible. Down, but not out. Can Tavasi find potentially an ace now? Has 3 on the round, first 3 and only 3.
Remaining.
That gets shut down because Drag finds a kill of their own, but Tavasi with a 4K and an excellent flick up onto Seaverb, who's on a really nice off angle, but not against Tavasi.
Yeah, this is another case of momentum being an absolute deciding factor for how rounds play out. You just get 1 or 2 rounds that go in your way, start finding a groove, what's working for you as a team, you have to work cohesively. And then Tavasi, on ultimate online, able to find 4 kills and just easily open up the map for his team.
Absolutely. I mean, I believe Cypher on KC has had their ult for quite some time now. However, of all times, oh, what a shot from Tavasi. He is really heating up. Now sitting at 16 and 14, finding 2 on the round already. They weren't able to get the ace last round, but can they do it this time? However, they are getting pinched. The question is Tavasi aware? Petrichor finds 2, but VK finds both Tavasi and Petrichor themselves. So now VK hunting for a reverse ace potentially. Bomb is planted, but if they can get these 2 players in main, that could be huge. They know that both are there. It is a pick on 1. Both info util coming out. Nope, they're still there, but Aki did invest the ult that round. VK really in a tough situation, but everybody's falling into their crosshair. But it's just taking too much time, and Banjo finds the kill. Now 10-11 half. This is getting dicey. Maybe a timeout. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, KC needs to take the time just to find out what's going on. I mean, you have Tavasi winning every one of his gun duels. That's allowing so much space to be divided up for the map. A is completely open now. Let's rotate over, get to A. Get the free plant down. So they have to find a way to punish Tavasi, the open angles that he's taking. He's been winning all of his gun duels as of late. And we've seen some missed shots on the side of KC. That's been a big factor for what leads to the map space completely opening up for HT. So maybe they're taking that time to communicate that. Play a little more passively. We saw how much aggression got punished when HT was pushing out from the defensive angles. So now they're doing the same thing back to KC.
Yeah, and I think the op was really strong for KC, so maybe we can see VK potentially pull out the... Oh, Tavasi is now opping as well. So, once again, an op being in the hands of Tavasi, this could on attack. However, this time it's a bot op. Oh, they choose to opt for a Vandal instead. But the slow play could prove to be difficult for the side of High Tide, but once again, Tavasi finds a really nice lurk kill on VK, who has been leading that team with 20 and 14 scoreline. So, top frag down for the count, and now it's a pretty much full retake on A. A's been given up, essentially. Some shots through the wall have been connected. Oh, can this team connect with the wingman? No, they cannot, but Petrichor does get shut down on the aggressive angle on top box. So, ult invested, which is going to allow KC Trico to get a kill of their own, which gives them their ult, where they find once more another kill. Wow, what a comeback after a timeout. They only needed 1 to get this to at least go to OT. But now they're sitting in a winning position.
Keep doing what we're doing. We got it.
Yeah, it was great adjustments that Casey was able to make. Fossey's still able to find that opening duel win against VK. So that they didn't slow down the plan that Casey had. They played retake. They fell on the back of that gecko hole. And that's what kind of opened up the round, as well as that ult from Rico. Able to find huge value, just opening up a great retake. You know, only needs one round.
Yep, absolutely. You know, the opening pick was great, but when you have a strong retake with only 4 players, that was really, really strong. So, Util coming out to break the Cypher trips, however, Cypher trips are not there. This next site is somewhat free, however, there's 3 players you need to take into account. Tavasi does find 1, can find 2 as well. Hunting for a 3rd, but is super weak. So, that is going to allow... that is going to allow Hi-Fi to get onto site. Petrichor finds 1. Tavasi finds once again another kill and another 4K on the round, or on this half. So Tavasi is just starting to go absolutely ballistic, now sitting at 21-16, a potential match MVP scoreline, especially if this can get into an overtime.
You know, Tavasi has always been able to back himself up and his team with his gunplay. He was getting punished a lot, unfortunately, on the defensive side, pushing out, but his aggression and ability to win his gun duels is what's keeping High Tide in this match.
Yeah, and last round of the half is going to make both Tavasi and VK use their ultimates. Not a perfect buy from the side of KC, but with knives, anything can happen. VK might be the X factor of this round here. And with that Sova drone being broken, that's going to drag a lot of rotates over to B. However,
I think Casey's
with
realizing
no
they're
capitalization.
rotating away from A.
Yep. So now some passive angles brought onto A by KC. But a really smart play to rotate through spawn so that Tavasi doesn't get an easy pick with this chamber ultimate.
30 seconds left.
Tavasi does find the wires in mid, so that has brought Trico's attention into mid, and VK now is aware. Oh, and gets detained as well. Trying to get away through the smoke, can't get away. So Petrichor finds the ultimate down. But look at how little time there is. Oh, Casey's just collapsing. Bomb needs to get down. There's only 8 seconds left to go. If they can stop this plant, this round is all but won. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Can Drag get the kill. They get the trade on themselves. So now a 2v2 situation, and Banjo is playing for the Sova ult post plant. 2v2 situation. Petrichor has an ult as well. So both playing off-site, playing this extremely well. They're gonna get half. No, they can't. They don't have the health for it. So now it's a 2v1 situation. Paranoia still online. And it's all up to Byzantine, the sub. Can he do something heroic for KC? They know they're not on. And to OT we go. What a comeback from High Tide.
Switching sides. Overtime.
4 rounds for each of these teams on back half. Just absolute. I mean, this is the team gameplay that we were hoping to see. You know, a close map that was started off a little bit rough for High Tide, but they were able to find that rhythm. And Bossy and Aki both putting in the big punches that they need to get these rounds. And unfortunate for Trico that last round. He was trying to up-trap, so avoid that Gecko ult, get on top of that box, but was not able to find that ledge in time.
Yeah, a tough round for VK, but I think the name of this game is going to be who can secure a defensive round first. Tavasi trying to find a pick of their own, but only takes 80 damage in return. with no damage dealt instead. Still trying to find an early pick, but Petrichor is the one who finds the first blood as well. Tabati almost finds the kill through the smoke, brings Trico down to 9 health. VK is going to get spotted by this drone, and now there's 2 players blinded by Petrichor's paranoia. So a 5v4 situation, essentially a 5v3. So many players weak, but 9 health might be all Trico needs to secure this round. Wow, Searoot finds some heroics, finds one. Can they find 3 on this round? 4, I mean. They find 3 on Drag. And now it's just Omen v Omen. But Petrichor, the player from Prospect in the previous season, gets a kill. And now has brought their team to match point. Huge plays.
Yeah, excellent game plan, I feel like, from High Tide. They early on recognized that round. Casey is putting the pedal to the metal and going straight into sight. So they backed up, allowed the scams to come in through the smokes, and then just play retake together. Very close one-on-one duel. Anyone could have won that round, but just happened to go in their favor with High Tide there.
Yep, and this is High Tide's map to lose, up 13-12 into OT. One thing to note, Petrichor at the end of the first half, or at least at the start of this half, was 5-15. They're now 15-18. That very well could be the reason why High Tide has been able to bring this back. Tavasi once again blind firing the trip in mid. And that really doesn't mean anything, but look at the space that VK and Trico have found. Trico finds the early pick on Tavasi, and that is X Factor down. Banjo does find the trade, so a 4v4 situation, but now High Tide is fully grouped up into B. The question is, can they find an opening pick onto T-Word? Yes, they can without losing anyone. Petrichor tries to find another, but gets punished on the aggression, solo aggression, into Boba. So a 3v3 situation, but bomb is down, and post plant is up. And Odin is in the hands of Byzantine, however, and this spam could prove to be quite difficult to combat against. Now it's all up to Banjo. Oh my goodness!
Attackers win.
Correct and hunted.
Oh my gosh. I need a replay. Banjo, send the clip in. I need to see that. Oh my god. What a round. A 1v3 situation, and Banjo, who was 12-18 at the end of that round, steps up to the plate and gets a 4K, 16-18 to close that game out. What a round.
It was just a perfect lineup for Banjo. Playing from A main, right thing to do is just sit back. You have a bomb planted, don't need to play these aggressive angles, allow them to just swing when you need to. But everyone is lined up at the perfect moment. Banjo finding 3 in those last seconds. 1v3 situation, huge clutch to take it away from a 13-13 tie and give the first map to High Tide.
I mean, just wow. That one, it's one thing to lose a map 13-5, right? You probably should have lost that map regardless of what happened. But this one, that round is a tilter. That is a tough round to come back from mentally, because that very well is a round that you should have won, and just by the fate of luck, you lose. That is very unfortunate for KC. Really well played from Banjo in High Tide. But oh my goodness, what a game. Semifinals are proving to be quite something. But I think with that, we might be taking a short break, and we will see you in map 2. Don't go anywhere. VDC? Welcome back to the semi-finals of Apprentice tier. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm getting a call from the producers. Oh my gosh, it seems like there's an infestation of some buzzing creatures. Sounds like bees? Wait, who could that be?
Bee?
Oh my gosh, who could it be other than the queen of the bees? What? Hello, VDC, and welcome back after what I can only say is a wild map. Thank you to Retired and Defoe for the entrance, as well as letting me in on this TriCast here. Just before we get into this next map here, what a round, and what a way to end that game. High Tide Crest submerging KC Cold Brew there with their greatness in OT. Definitely a hard fought map. KC really going to have to pull it together here. Any highlights from that map before we go straight into this next one? I'd say definitely that 3K on Banjo was definitely my highlight. But Defoe, what about you? What are you thinking?
I think for me, it's just you have to consider how Devasi was playing in that first half. Struggling a little bit, but able to just put the team on his back, getting multiple 4Ks, and securing rounds and just winning gunfights in ways that allow his team to rotate and take the necessary space on the attack side.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, Devasi was the X factor. I mean, that guy was him. That entire second half brought that team back into a winnable position, and they definitely took advantage of it. So, I mean, really well played from both teams. But for a High Tide to come out of that one after being down 8-4, crushing defeat for KC.
And definitely, as the great Professor Snape in Harry Potter says, they're going to have to learn how to brew glory and put a stopper into the death of Devasi, Aki, and some of their key players on High Tide here. And it looks like after that exciting map, we're going into map 2 soon. Map 2 confirmed map being...
Icebox.
Icebox. And Icebox is one of those maps where it doesn't necessarily feel as one-sided as the other. I don't know how the other casters feel about that statement and me saying it so boldly. But looking at these two teams in particular, I'd say that this is going to be a very fun matchup indeed, especially seeing what type of Sentinels are going to be picked up on behalf of KC and High Tide here. Do we have any thoughts on Icebox before we get into map 2?
I believe this is KC's map. So I want to say Casey's going to take this one home. However, I expect to see Drag on Jet, maybe even Reyna. Devasi is going to continue to play on this chamber and is probably going to continue to be a menace. Banjo on Soba, which they played incredibly well last map. And then Petrichor on Smokes, Aki on Gecko even. I mean, this could just go into the hands of High Tide because of how comfortable High Tide is on the agents that this map requires. Now, like I said, Icebox is KC's pick, so they may be more comfortable on the map. So it could come down to who's more comfortable, the people who are more comfortable on the map or the people who are more comfortable on the agents.
And it's definitely going to be a battle of the fittest for sure in those respects. Both very different strategies, but both strategies that can definitely win indeed. And looking right into it, we're going straight into agent select here.
I'm looking forward to see my prediction come true. Do you think we see Neon?
You never really know with KC. Sometimes they like to hover the neon just for the audience and the people in the stream to enjoy here. And it seems like High Tide's taking a page out of their book with the Harbor 5-man hover.
I'm all for it. Do we actually see a Harbor though? I mean, we have an interesting selection of players for KC. I mean, playing with Byzantine, who is a sub, and Thierb, however you say it, essentially subbing in for Jam, who's been on IR, so at least there's some synergy there. But this is interesting. Trico might actually be on Reyna.
You never really know with KC what they're going to pull out. The fact that neither team has locked into either... I say that. And the second I say that, High Tide completely locks in with Tavasi on Reyna. Aki on Clove, Drag on KJ. This is a very typical High Tide build, if I do say so myself. Very interesting double smokes play, but not something that we haven't seen on Icebox. And then, Retired to Foe, what do we think about this KC lock-in? Looking pretty similar to me.
Oh, you can take that one.
I was going to say, it's looking very similar to the enemy team. We've got some mirror agents here with a couple of defining moments with Banjo on Sova versus the Gecko pick here. It'll definitely be an initiator's game here, but you never know with Byzantine and Drag on the KJs being able to face off there.
Yeah,
I'm kind of curious to see how KC is going to operate without a Viper and relying on this new agent that we have. I mean, Viper has been a mainstay for this map for such a long time. We're seeing it on the other side for High Tide with another smokes agent as well. So I'm kind of curious to see how that they have written up or what their game plan is going to be with just this one smokes player.
Absolutely. I mean, I know Otter's kind of different on Clove on this map. However, the Reyna pick, interesting. For Tavasi as well. Wasn't expecting that. Either KC Honda Sleep gets caught with their util out, and Tavasi finds an early first pick, so they don't need to be on Chamber to find the opening kills of these rounds. It seems to be Byzantine now so far back onto B. I mean, KC is just scattered all over this map, and Banjo finds one on Searb as well, tries to find a second, but Trico does find that kill and gets the overheal as well. So now a 4v3 situation.
Spike planted.
VK definitely spotted track there. Those are at least one two.
Oh, but Trico, really nice heads up play, and now, oh, but so many players are weak, so a 2v3. VK sitting at extremely low health, so is Aki. Aki tries to find one, can find it, but both Cloves now getting caught with their util out. Trico with a 3k on the round, and it's all up to Petrichor, who can't get it done. Trico, what an incredible round with the 4k.
Yeah, High Tide not able to get it done. Trico getting the 4k there, getting some interesting kills through boxes. You never really know what's going to happen on pistol round, and it was very exciting to see just the amount of map presence that KC had there. Some people going mid, some people going B, but also the teamwork and being able to trade with each other and play with each other. High Tide really getting a little bit lost there, taking a lot of ones, but that's okay with pistol round. You never really know what's going to go down. Right now, going into this next round, we see a huge buy out of Trico and VK, actually, with both the Vandal picks with some Bulldogs and a Stinger. Very typical of this forced buy after winning. With the majority of the players looking towards A site here, we'll see what that A site take is going to look like.
And that we will. Nice start just to make sure that this aggression doesn't happen from the side of KC. However, with the gun advantage, there's no need to take some unwarranted risks. VK almost finds a pick onto Banjo, but leaves them extremely weak. Banjo decides to re-peek the Vandal. Oh, but the gun in the way of everybody else. So Tavasi is going to get a heal on that, but that does give away their position. So VK is aware and stops the heal. And this is becoming somewhat dangerous for KC. Searb seems to be well aware that Petrichor is on B. However, they do escape the blind without getting spotted. But Honda Sleep is going to find at least two in mid. So now the question is, where is High Tide going? That exposition being exposed in mid is going to drag a lot of rotates from KC over to B, and they aren't being quiet about it. So surely that is going to draw some rotates. Searb has the util ready to stop this play down, which they very well do. A nice combo with the Clove and Mosh Pit. Throwables. Petrichor finds an incredible kill on Otter. So that is going to allow Bomb to go down. Byzantine does find one on Petrichor. Zero finds one. But Aki is able to get that trade, is going to get a gun, and has the overheal. So now, a potential eco win for the side of High Tide. Can he get this round? Or kill? Oh my gosh, both players are whipping. Aki comes out of that one alive, and now it's a 1v2 situation. However, Aki is extremely weak. VK does find one and has the better gun. They have the Vandal online, and it's just them against the Classic, but is time on their side. Drag throws another molly just for insurance, but doesn't pop it. Is going to walk straight into a right click, but does get the kill. Is there enough time? I believe there is. A sloppy round, but a round nonetheless for KC.
What would you all do without me?
Exposition exposed. Great retake for VK there. I mean, on a very rough map, the first map for him, struggling to find the shots, able to pull a 3K clutch into his hands and save a disastrous start to a round, into a round that you're able to get that round win. Only one Vandal to start this next half, but huge recovery for this team.
Absolutely, and like you said, really huge round from VK with a 3K hashtag bang. Got my boy Brimmy. But some early aggression from the side of High Tide. Otter's in such a crazy spot, but Drag is aware enough to peek that corner. So Otter doesn't even get the opportunity to shoot that Bucky. And a really strong start for High Tide into this round. 5v3. However, Trico has popped their Empress. So with Empress online and a Vandal in their hands, this could get dangerous. Anybody who's played ranks knows about the potential dangers of an alt arena, especially when they're the raid boss. However, Tabasi finds one through the smoke and finds a second on Trico, and Banjo cleans up the final kill. Don't need to see. They're all cosmetic.
Yeah, they're all cosmetic, cleaning up the round. Indeed, that was quite an aggressive play on behalf of High Tide. They knew they had the gun advantage there, and they knew they had the money buy. And Tabasi and a couple of the High Tide players really just ran them down. Almost like, I would almost say like a tide coming in. No, I'm not going to pull on any more of those jokes. But reality is that was a wonderful buy on behalf of High Tide. KC knew that was coming. Looking at their buy right now, we do see a lot of Vandals online with High Tide going towards B straight into the Gecko.
Yeah, man. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You went A 2 times, and then transitioned to B. Didn't work out. Shove it down to B. That is the one that has worked so far. Question is, will it work once more? That Gecko Blind is going to get enough information. However, VK and Trico, both being aggressive into A, are going to find a pick onto Petrichor, who is trying to lurk. The lurk wasn't successful in Sunset, and it looks to be that is continuing to be the case in this map as well. Oh my gosh, and Searba actually finds a kill with the mosh pit, but Aki is there to find the trade. 3v4 situation now. 2 ults online, so technically a 3.5, maybe 4 feet. Oh my goodness, Aki is going to pop the ult and is going to get away, but there's 2 players down now, so this could get really dangerous. How did that thing just bounce in the air? Drag is going to find one. Aki is going to keep their life, and Drag finds 3 on the round, so huge play from the duo of Aki and Drag.
You know, it's really starting to feel like after that big comeback that we saw on Sunset, that Crest is really in a great rhythm right now. In great mood, huge clutch from Banjo, and they're carrying that momentum into this match. They're not allowing any bad mistakes to slow down their attacks here, so they're just keeping momentum going, and they have a comfortable position with their economy right now.
Absolutely, and I like the aggressive play from KC here. I mean, they're on the weaker buy, so if they can get at least an early pick here, that could be huge. However, they've seen enough players to back off of this gunfight, knowing that a ghost isn't going to get it done. However, that's not going to stop Trico from trying to push up. Oh my goodness. Almost 2 ships passing in the night, but Tavasi finds the pick on Trico. Byzantine gets caught in mid. So now a 2 players down for KC. But VK has knives online. Can't get anything done there. So now 2v5 situation, 2 sheriffs in hands. One has armor, the other does not. Can they find anything to at least get some momentum onto their side? One blind is going to connect onto Petrichor, but they will escape with their lives. Otter trying to find their first of the half, but only 20 health to their name. Smoke is up now, but doesn't come up quite yet before Wingman is able to be destroyed. Drag is going to find one through the smoke on C-Rurb, and it's all going to be up to Otter, who once again has 20 health, but is getting their first of the half. Finds second, can almost find a third? No. But still, a nice effort with only a sheriff in hand.
Only a sheriff in hand. Definitely had a couple of those high tide players at the edge of their seats there getting those nasty sheriff kills, but it still wasn't enough. The thrifty dream kind of shattered on behalf of high tide there, playing what I can only say is an incredible post plan. Everybody being able to shoot the wingman down, knowing that the mollies aren't going to be able to hit that little guy. But KC really needing to get the momentum here. The momentum currently is in the favor of high tide, making it 3-2. But now that they've got the guns in order, we do see an op online from KCVK on A, which is where the high tide players majority seem to be headed.
Yeah, and this op proved to be something that high tide was not able to combat against when it was in the hands of VK. And if that's not proof of what I just said, I don't know what is. KC VK with a really early pick onto Banjo. That's info down. So no initiator for the side of high tide now, and VK would very well find a pick of their own. Not going to get too aggressive, but look at all of the space that Tavasi has in an interesting situation. There's 2 possible players that have their sights on Tavasi. Otter comes out with the kill there, but they did see a duelist, and that's going to bring VK, at least in the operator, over to B. But now, with bomb going down and KJ util broken, plant is going to get down. And once again are in a post-plant situation that high tide has seemed to have a pretty good control of. They also have lockdown online, and there it is. It's going to get procced. So the question is, can they defend it? Aki gets caught by Seaver, and VK finds one with... Oh my goodness, this gets so dangerous! Finds another one! But, oh no! The opportunity was there. Trying to find 5 on the round. VK gets 3 instead. The lockdown just wasn't enough time. What a stick.
KC with a very great recovery after struggling for a little bit. VK able to find a big op shot, slow things down, and then getting that entry kill really kind of settled things down for KC, where all they had to do was play numbers. So finally a little bit of momentum going in their favor, able to get some clean shots in, and now we have a tie game.
Yeah, and not many flashes on the side of high tide, so dealing with this op in this half might prove to be incredibly difficult. An unfortunate round to see high tide lose their ult, but because Drag was able to get 4 on that round, KC is not sitting with the greatest of vibes. Petrichor, oh my goodness, Byzantine, what a turn on. Seaver gets a second as well. However, that leaves 3 players from KC extremely weak, so they need to play their numbers here if they want to come out of this one alive. VK will find one on Banjo. Once again, another flanked whiff, unfortunate situation, but it's all up to Aki, and this is not an unwinnable situation. I mean, this is very well could get done. If anything, they could get Otter down, who's sitting at 22 health.
30 seconds left.
If Byzantine finds their way over. Oh, they could find a pick on them as well. 20 seconds on the round though. They could just choose to save here, but Otter's playing this extremely well, knowing that they're weak, trying not to expose themselves here,
10 seconds
and
left.
wait for Aki to swing into VK's op. But it looks like a save is going to be the play here. Otter does get spotted, and so does Aki at that. But a nice save round, and 4 players still left alive for KC.
4 players still left alive. You could tell that KC there just really changed the momentum of the game and changed their playstyle a little bit, causing High Tide to get a little bit out of play with Petrichor with that little whiff on Byzantine, really forced High Tide to have to take out B site. But KC was playing a lot more together there and a little bit more tentative and just holding their angles, not getting thirsty for that Aki kill, and it really put them on top. And really great going into this round with High Tide really going to have to force into this round.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a momentum swing. Wow, 3 targets is just too many for 1 player to focus on. An unfortunate hit from VK with that op, but still has the op online. And with at least 1 Reyna blind down, both Reyna blinds down, there's no more flashes to get VK off of this op angle. Otter finds one on Tabasi, so Raid Boss down. And that is going to bring this Gecko ult online. It is going to catch Petrichor, but I don't know if anybody's there to be able to capitalize on it. Trico is going to find a player. And the Show ult online is just not going to be enough in a 1v5 scenario. Bomb is being defused. Danger will find one, but VK with the op is too strong.
Yeah, we saw High Tide able to take site very comfortably there, but unfortunately the over-aggression from Devassia taking all that space, he was able to get gunned down, and that allowed KC to use their Gecko ult and just clear out those site and take an easy retake. Push them back with their ults, and they were able to waste the Silva ult on the other side, and that just kind of gives a little bit of a cushion for KC to lean on for this next round.
Yeah, investing that Gecko ult that round was huge, because that was a potential momentum shifter round. I mean, I thought that that was going to do some damage to the economy of High Tide. However, they still are sitting at a full buy. So if High Tide can come out of this round with a win and minimal losses, it could still be in the hands of High Tide. 1 player has been spotted, being Tavasi in top tube by Byzantine, and the turret is just going to confirm it. So Otter needs to find that kill, and they do. So Tavasi has been getting very strongly punished this half, at least in the last 3 rounds, and Trico finds one of their own. So what a nice pick from VK in a 2v5 situation. Byzantine finds one on Drag to bring it to a 4-player down in a flawless round.
In a flawless round, and if this isn't the definition of KC waking up, chugging a little bit of their cold brew, then I don't know what is. Every single one of them getting some really good angles, really good kills, not getting over aggressive, and this we do see a High Tide time out because of that. That's how many rounds in a row for KC? If we were High Tide, Defoe retired, what on earth would you be saying to your team right now to try to break up this momentum that KC seems to be having?
I will say something super brief, pass over to Defoe. But Reyna is your only blinds. There is only one thing that you can do other than Sova drone to push VK off of these op angles, and that's a Reyna blind. And Reyna is lurking. So I would try and get Tavasi reeled back into the team until we can stop this op.
There.
And you have 2 players that can really just benefit from the aggression if you're able to use it, but Tavasi isn't really known to take fast fights, so he has to use his util kit to his advantage. He is the only person that can flash his angles. He might have to play aggressive with that second smoke player, having a probe on his team. That's 2 agents that can benefit from healing themselves.
And seeing Tavasi and a couple of people go mid there, really disjointed high tide. Let's see if they play together here. Looking at the map, we do see the majority of them headed towards A site with Petrichor heading mid. Let's see if KC's ready to receive them.
Yeah, and once again, an attempt at a full buy from high tide. So, I mean, 4 straight buys, a testament to their economy. But the question is, will they have an answer for this op this round? There's... That Reyna blind actually was really good at pushing 2 players off the field. Mackie is going to proc the ult, so they are going to live in, at the very least, that is going to get high tide onto site with a nice plan. So, a really strong post plan available now for high tide with the KJ lockdown online, but VK finding 3 on the round so far, 2 of the kills being on. Oh my goodness, that would have been a crazy shot. Really nice kill from Tavasi, but VDC gets that trade. But the double lockdown, so actually a really well played from the side of KC, and that round is going to be secured.
Well played. Wingman was on the defuse there for a quick second, but wow, just an all-around amazing round from KCBK, getting the 3 kills with the off shot there. Definitely a great ult on behalf of KJ, with the 2 players being able to be hyper-aggressive, with 2 players holding back. You can tell that the KC is working more together now as a unit. High Tide really having to step it up here and be able to work together. It seems like they're trying to go for some hero plays, but you never really know what's going to happen on the side of High Tide here. They do seem to be getting a little bit excited. Let's see if they can calm down a little bit and work together.
Look at this angle that Seaverb is holding. They are ready to shoot any kind of util that gets thrown up their way. But a nice Viper Wall is going to prevent that from happening and gives Petrichor some decent space to A main. Or B main, I apologize. But an excellent headshot connecting onto Seaverb is going to free up Petrichor for a really nice kill. VK now sitting alone with this op. I apologize. Once again. Sitting buddy-buddy with Otter with this op. But look at Tavasi. Once again getting all of this space. Only a ghost in hand and might get caught by Trico, who's very well aware. And that might drag a rotate. Now, Otter and Byzantine might just run into each other here in mid. Question is, can Drag with a Sheriff in hand? Oh my goodness. Unfortunate timing. Just as they look away, Byzantine swings. Bomb is going to go down, and Otter's going to find one on Petrichor. So a 2v4 situation with DK's 9 online. Drags the crosshairs away by updrafting. And that's going to secure the round. At least an 8-4 half. But we saw 8-4 last round, or last map, and we know how that went.
Fortunately for Tavasi, he's playing a little bit kind of like a ranked Reyna that's getting those alerts, but not finding the success from it. Hopefully they're able to kind of turn things around again, like we saw from this last map on the attack side, but it might still be able to serve a little bit of a comeback if they're able to get this last round in. So maybe another change in tempo, just quick rhythm change and play as a fast aggressive team. They're gonna have to fight this offense.
Yep, and the Sova drone is gonna spot the op and prevents VK from. Oh my goodness, what a pick from Petrichor, and they find 2 as well. Really nice timing, but look, do they catch 2 players in mid? They surely heard the reload, and they definitely heard the shots. So Petrichor might be able to find even more. Tavasi can't find one on Otter. So 3v4 situation now. Otter has the ult online. So again, potentially even a tougher situation to be in. Nobody is on bomb. And Drag finds an early pick onto Otter, who needs to get aggressive, but Drag shut them down.
Player standing.
So Aki's gonna find one. Trico finds one of their own. It's all to Trico. Banjo shuts it down. And then once again, an 8-4 half. We'll see. We shall see
Sides.
what that means.
We shall see what that means indeed. I mean, this is the same story we just watched on Sunset, and High Tide was able to come back, bring it to OT. So we'll see how they do on defense on Icebox here. KC moving on to the attack side here. We do see some players in the looking like VK with 15-7, MF Drag 12-10. It'll be exciting to see this pistol round, as I feel like this is the pistol round that will really determine what's going to happen for the rest of the game here. Whoever seems to win pistol always seems to continue and get another round here. Will High Tide be able to bring the tides into their favor here, or will KC continue brewing glory, brewing greatness? We'll only find out here on A.
And I love to hear those puns. But once again, this very well could be determined by who wins pistols and who doesn't. However, I mean, High Tide were down 10-4 because they lost pistols on Sunset. And they were still able to come out of that one alive. So, pistols, I very much agree, is extremely important. What a shot from VK. The right clicks just aren't true. Aki is able to find one in the mess, but that's all. So, 2v4, Aki trying to find another, gets shut down by the opposing Clove. Byzantine with the final kill, 9-4 once again.
Yeah, I think all this caffeine from this cold brew team is really starting to keep themselves afloat, not letting the tide of the waters get themselves distracted, especially after a rough loss in overtime. Finally starting to get a great rhythm as a team. I mean, losing some very important rounds on Sunset, but now taking advantage of some of the lurking plays and finishing them, especially against Tabasi.
Absolutely, and I guess I should contribute to the puns here. High Tide really needs to enter into some flow state to get this one back in their favor. 9-4, last time we saw some crazy heroics to at least do some major damage to KC's bye on the bonus round. But it's going to be tough. It's a brand new map, brand new momentum shift. I mean, VK sitting at 17-8. Quite a difficult situation to be in. And Aki can't find one in mid, but does escape with their lives, so that is at least a bonus. Bossy does find one, almost finds two. Byzantine does find the kill and gets that trade, and finds one on Petrichor as well. So bomb is not yet been planted, was fake planted in A, but now with those picks are going to be dragged over to B. So Wingman is going to get spiked down, and post-plant util has been put down. Really nice shot from VK onto Aki. And the question is, can the Classics get it done? No. VK with the 3K, hashtag bang.
Hashtag bang indeed. The Phantom Rush going in and getting those three here, but we're starting to see a new KC and a new game style that they have going for them. They seem to be going buddy-buddy into the spots, into the angles that they need. Aki not being able to get the mid kills. Tavasi going in strong with his classic, is able to get one, but that momentum shift was able to get KC onto B, get ready for the post plan, and give BK the opportunity to be as aggressive as he's meant to be on the duel list. Most of KC headed towards B site. High Tide does have a full buy.
Yeah, and not the perfect buy, but still a very solid buy from High Tide here. Last time they were able to flawless, and they do it again. BK has knives though, and wow, what a shot from Tavasi to shut those knives down, and gets respect from VK as well. Trico finds one on Tavasi, however. And Petrichor does find one on Otter. Oh, really nice shot from Trico. Trico having a really nice round so far. The only 2 kills for their team, and damage on Petrichor as well. So, with 1 player weak, and damage done, got a little bit to a standstill. Banjo's dart not going to see anything, which might alert High Tide of a rotate. So I like the hold in mid. KJ Util is on A, but KC very well known for their rehits. They like to do these pauses and re-hit sites, especially when time is low. And time is up. With only 20 seconds and boys, oh my goodness. Petrichor is able to find a kill, but can't stop the plant from going down, which could have potentially won them the round. But well played. Oh my gosh, Trico hunting for an ace. Banjo's extremely weak. Can they do it again?
Oh no.
Whiffs from both players, but unfortunately can't get it done. Banjo once again clutching up for their team.
Yeah, definitely a rough turn of events there. I mean, I think that was just a case of over-caffeination, you know, overheating. Maybe took that brew just a little too strong, and you're able to make mistakes with that kind of a lead, sure, but you definitely want a little more cleaner round. So great advantage for opportunity for High Tide to change things around there.
Yeah, and on top of that, a really nice opportunity for KC to take advantage of this weak buy. I mean, High Tide just won a round, however, they're choosing not to full buy here and are giving Banjo the opportunity to hero rifle here. Now, the drone may have spotted somebody onto A, but no players rotating off from either side. So with the Viper wall up and a couple shots being exchanged, nothing connecting, VK might find one. If the opportunity arises itself, they see one, and Drag does get caught. So with nothing watching Maze, VK is going to find one on that round. Zero going to get the plant down. If the snake bite can't get it done, which it can't. Banjo finds one with the hero rifle though, and Petrichor finds one as well before falling with a sheriff. Banjo finds once again and 2. So 3 on the round. Can they get 4? Don't have the ammo, but that's just enough time to get that stick. What a round. A huge round from the hero.
A huge round. The definition of pros don't fake. Banjo being an excellent teammate there and being able to allow Tavasi to survive, getting a bunch of kills in their favor. Although the tides definitely shifted on behalf of High Tide there. KC really looked good with VK getting that opening pick on Drag, getting that early initiation and aggression onto that A site there. But High Tide able to pull it out into their favor. This is the reason why they were signed, everybody. And we've got a real match on our hands.
Absolutely, and we might just have to call it the 8-4 curse if this falls into the hands of High Tide. This has been back-to-back Icebox thrillers. Yesterday we saw Icebox, and like I said, a thriller, an expert. Seems to be the case here as well. Rico does get spotted by the alarm bot. Oh my goodness, but look at the timing that VK has found. Oh my gosh, what a shot from VK, and escapes with no damage as well. So bomb is going to attempt to get planted, but Drag's going to find VK. Oh my goodness, Petrichor finds one with the outlaw as well. What an incredible eco gun that has been. So a weak buy for KC. Going to proc this plant. So plant is going to get down, and that is going to allow Seaworm to pick up their ultimate. We've seen them use their ultimate extremely well so far. Tavasi, what a kill on Trico, and they find a second on the round as well. They know exactly where Seaworm is, but the ult's not going to do any good in a 1v4.
the timing for that round being the name of the game, being able to get 2 players sneaked into kitchen, snook into kitchen, getting past the tripwire that is Tavasi, but not able to find any success with it. VK able to pull a little bit out of their pocket to kind of punish that lurk, but still, High Tide keeping this momentum going, having a good rhythm with these rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last time KC won a round, I did say High Tide needed to enter flow state, and I believe with 3 rounds on the board, they may very well have entered the state of flow. Flow from progressive, that is. But 3 ult online for High Tide, 2 for the side of the attackers in KC, and that is going to be the first one utilized. So really nice pick from Tavasi on VK, who seems to be VK's kryptonite. Tavasi does fall finally in a 1v3 gunfight, it seems like, to Otter. Oh, what a shot from Otter, who's having a really nice round, finally trying to find 3 on the round, does find 3, procs the ult, despite being in a 1v4 scenario. Petrichor does find 1 though onto Otter. He was ulted, so Petrichor has their ult, but with the Thrash still online and KJ lockdown as well, can't see this one being won, and with Thrash connecting there, that's not going to do it. An 11-7 in favor of KC.
11-7 in favor of KC. They definitely needed that round, and they definitely threw all their ults and everything that they had. At the beginning of that round, all I thought about was chaos, chaos, utter chaos, and Otter was thriving in that chaos, getting not only a sneaky 3k gear, but getting the ult and forcing Petrichor to kind of have to lose a little bit of time there. We did see them get half, which I saw my heart stop a little bit there, but thankfully the Gecko ult able to solidify the win there and get the pause. Most of the players headed towards A site, straight into 2.
Yeah, and this is the site that doesn't have Petrichor, so no Viper Pit is going to get encountered here. But look at that, an op in the hands of Tavasi, who takes a fair bit of damage here, and a nice off angle on top belt though, or on top of rafters, with the double blind coming in and the KJ lockdown. KC really trying to secure this round and give them the opportunity to be 1 round away from match point here. Tavasi in a really nice angle, but the shoulder is showing. They see VK's shoulder as well. Petrichor finds 1, but Trico finds drag. So Petrichor tries to find another one, which they can. Byzantine's there for the trade. KC VK gets the op down, and now it's all drag. If they can find this kill, they have ult online. But look at this plant spot. This is so difficult to combat against. I mean, this plant spot essentially won the MF game in Expert. And I believe that was against High Tide as well. So, KC taking a page out of High Tide's book and winning a really important round.
Knew a lot of coffee that KC are running on after these past few rounds. Had 3 rounds that they've lost so far, but really starting to find a way to close out this map. They knew they had a rough ending for the last one. They wish they could get that round back, but really starting to limit their mistakes. And this new Brew is really trying to work for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the last round, potentially, of the half. It's match point, so full buy coming out from High Tide, and Tavasi finds a really early pick onto the lurking Byzantine. So that is going to get an advantage for High Tide. Petrichor trying to find some damage through the ult, but is actually extremely weak, losing that exchange, which just seems to be unlucky. Trying to find a kill though. I mean, if Petrichor falls, there's not a lot of players here on this B site. Oh my goodness. How have they escaped Can they find Trico? No, they cannot. So Trico takes down the ult, and that's going to bring a lot of players over towards B. Bomb isn't yet going down, though, and probably because of all the space that VK has. They're just trying to buy time for their lurk, who should technically be their entry, but when you have this slow, methodical approach, it's done extremely well. Bomb isn't going to go down. Oh my goodness, what a great find from Otter onto Aki. But Aki does have the ult. So a 2v3 situation. If Otter can stay alive, I mean Aki. Oh, but they're well aware, and a huge round for High Tide to bring this to 12-8.
To bring this to 12-8, indeed. What looked like it was going to be a great round. KC definitely playing their cards right and being able to use the time in their favor. Ended up spilling the coffee beans a little bit there, and High Tide being able to not only land their shots, but seem to work really together there and use the ultimate on behalf of Aki in their favor, using that extra life to their advantage, and then trying to source out where VK could possibly be hiding. This is anybody's game still. 12-8. It is still match point for KC. High Tide's really got to step up their game and use this momentum, and KC's got to pull it together.
And
Still not a perfect buy. Say that again?
High Tide, Batman's really starting to show up for those in the audience that know.
Well, I don't know. So, newbie player showing their true colors for VDC. But an interesting exchange in mid. Just some warning shots from both sides. Nobody wants to connect. But two ults
Batman's running
online
it down.
for High Tide. So like Queenie said, this is still very much winnable. Tavasti has the Reyna ult, so could choose to utilize it here. This might very well be the final opportunity they have. Oh no, but the run and gun doesn't stay true. Otter finds the first opening kill onto Tavasti. And the Thrash is going to connect onto one, so... Oh my goodness, this could very well be the last round. It's all up to Aki, who was Thrash ulted, Gecko ulted, and that is going to be map 2 taken down by KC 1-1.
Wow.
Great recovery for KC.
Great recovery, Defoe. I'm going to let you speak first on that amazing matchup that we just watched here.
No, I really have to give credit where credit is due for the two duelists here. I mean, VK was having a tough time finding or hitting those shots on Sunset, but really stepped up his game. Easily able to secure match MVP here. Him and Trico, they both were able to just take advantage of specific angles, specific fights. A really strong series. Good that we have going into this third map now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, 26-14 from VK, 23-12 from Trico. That is quite the 1-2 punch, if I do say so myself. I mean, you had Super with finishing 4-14, and they still had quite a dominating performance on that map, securing that win at 13-8. I mean, that just goes to show how strong that combo is. It's like coffee and cream. You know what I mean? Just goes together.
It's just like coffee and cream, it goes together, and they definitely grinded together in that matchup here. We did see KC land up on top with the two duelists, as per mentioned, getting the MVPs there, but definitely an all-around good performance on behalf of High Tide. They're getting the 8 rounds, getting 4 in on attack and 4 on defense. We did see some incredible plays here, but it looks like we are about to head into a little bit of a break between the maps before we get to the decider here. Spam in the chat who you're cheering for, and we'll see you in the next map. Alrighty, and welcome back to the highly anticipated map 3, going into this semifinals, deciding who's going to be going to finals and who's going to have to pack it up and go home with the season over, retired. What a map we just watched here. Do you have any of highlights, any things that you saw? All I personally saw was VK putting an op in his hands and winning. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, High Tide did not have an answer to that op, and we'll see if that continues to be the case on this map here on Lotus. Technically, this was Casey's map pick because they had the last ban, so they did choose the decider, and this is the map that is going to decide who stays and who goes home. So I'm interested to see how it plays out.
How it plays out, indeed. And we go immediately into agent select to what could possibly be the most important agent select on behalf of both teams here. I'm sure we'll see some constant hoverings as we always do, but this is Lotus. And as a resident breach player retired, do you think we're going to be seeing some double breach here?
I sure hope so. That's for sure. I mean, I played against Banjo once where we both played breach. It was on bind, and he did pretty well. I mean, I believe he had double-digit assists by the end of the game, and that's really all you can ask for from your breach player. So, I mean, I think Banjo is very capable to support his team with his util, and I would be interested to see how this one plays out. Tavasi now being onto Raze, Drag sticking onto this Sentinel role. Which could be interesting. Tavasi, we might see have an op in their hand on this defensive half, but Trico on ISO?
I wonder if this agent select is indicative of what side they're playing on. If you look at on the half of defenders, yes, they can play that really, really well on attack, but I can already picture the breach stun into the raise nade, into the fade dog on A, and I can see so many different potentials and opportunities. But Casey locking in on their attack side on what many, not me, many have said is an attack-sided map. What do we think about these agent picks for Retired?
I personally am more of a fan of High Tide's team comp simply because it's very similar to what I am used to running. So I am more acclimated to that comp. However, there is some potential wow factor that KC has on their side. I mean, they have an agent that has been tearing up ranked lobbies in ISO, and VK on Raze as well. Double duelist comp, being on attacking side, could prove to be incredibly strong. I think, like you said, contrary to popular belief, I don't think this map really has an attack and defense side. I find myself going 6-6 on this map quite often.
And we'll have to see. KC looking for a default setup going into this High Tide primarily on A. Let's get into this matchup.
Absolutely, and an early breach stun getting sent out, but I don't believe I heard a raise or seasoned combo. That turret is going to go down, and a lot of players shooting at it is going to make everybody well aware that it is going to be a hit. Trico is able to find one, can't quite find another, and gets a full blinded, but nobody really is there to pick up a kill off of it. Honda Sleep keeps off of the breach flash because they were not in view of it. Trico does find one before they pick the bucket, but it's all to Banjo as 10 health to their name. But a decent amount of util. They have the breach stun online. Could end up hitting VK, but 10 health just isn't enough. Well played, KC.
Well played, KC. It just isn't enough. We saw the early aggression that KC is known for on these pistol rounds. They really just said it's time to rise and grind and stir up some trouble, and stir up in trouble they did on B site here. And in typical KC fashion, we do see Trico and VK going for the full buys here with a Vandal and a Phantom in their hands. And we do see the majority of High Tide starting to spread out a little bit there. Not as many of them on A, most of them headed towards B, with KC kind of seems to be doing a 2-2-1 split. It'll be interesting to see how this buy goes for them.
Yeah, and it looked like Banjo was getting ready to support B with some util. Petrichor getting caught off guard. And I think that util would have proven to be really strong. It was unfortunate they just didn't have the proper read. And Rico and KC heard a lot of noise over in A main. Trico solo reclearing though is very, very dangerous. So Banjo trying to stall a push from happening with that aftershock. He's going to get it done, but now all of KJ util is down. So this could just be detrimental. A couple of blinds from Banjo is going to connect. Trico does find one on Tavasi, but with all of that noise and aggression that High Tide had shown, and with the pick that Trico was able to find in A, KC is just going to opt to full rotate here. Now, Otter is extremely weak, sitting at very little health, but when you have a wingman, you don't really need to have health to plant. Now, Petrichor weak there themselves. Byzantine with some acrobatics is able to find 2 on both Petrichor and Bragg. DK finds 1 and a nice adjustment to find 2 on that round as well, and a flawless round for KC.
A flawless round for KC indeed there. It did look a little troublesome when KC couldn't get onto C, couldn't get onto B. Otter brought really, really low, but Trico getting all that space on A, and High Tide leaving A kind of abandoned. It really did lose them the round there with KC basically following Trico's lead there, and then getting the kills that they needed to. High Tide did try to work together, and this is their buy round. It is a little mixed up buy for KC, but it is looking like we'll see a C rush here into the KJ utility.
Yeah, and I like that High Tide is trying to play this a little bit more in a retake style.
They're not ready.
Oh, but that nade somehow misses all of the KJ util, so still a bunch of KJ util online for B. What a stun from Banjo. That's going to completely stop this from happening. And everybody is now just caught up into C main, all in mound. And look at how many that Fade Haunt spotted. At least 3, maybe even 4. Really well played combination of util from High Tide there. Now once again a little bit of a reset. Byzantine has gotten rubble control, but nothing more. And it's going to be up to Tavasi to hold down this A bomb site. They once again might be playing full retake here, because the last thing you really want is to give a gun to the opposing team. Banjo getting a little bit aggressive. Oh no! But does get caught up into the gulag. Who's gonna come out of that one alive? It looks like it's Banjo. Both Banjo and Drag finding a pick of their own. Oh my god. In full blind, Banjo finds another one. Flash going out. Is it back to 2? And what a round from Banjo. 3-2-2. Taco is the GOAT.
My jaw is on the floor.
Oh.
And I need some help picking it back up. Wow, what a round out of Banjo. Really great round all around on behalf of High Tide there. KC really starting to look good, getting the pickup onto Banjo with the ISO ult, but losing that ISO ult, and the majority of KC attempting to find the body of High Tide member just wasn't enough. High Tide being able to kind of put a stopper onto this KC aggression and momentum now that they have guns. It's anybody's game now, and we see KC headed towards C.
Yeah, and I like that they're showing a lot of presence into mound with a lot of util, except for this time they're actually capitalizing on it. So Haunt's going to connect, but because of the Gecko Thrash, that is going to be a full site. Oh my goodness. Oh, but Petrichor couldn't see VK because of their gun. So VK is able to find a pick. Drag exchanges some rounds with VK as well, but once again, Otter getting that ult online. Tavasi finds one on Trico though. Oh, what an angle from VK to be in. A tough situation for High Tide and a tough retake with Thrash constantly online. Banjo does find one amidst the chaos though. Now it's 3-3, but time is running low. VK now hunting for an ace of his own. Can't connect. Oh my god. Byzantine finds Tavasi. And Banjo shuts down the ace attempt. So it's all to Banjo, who looks like they're just going to save here. A tough round to lose, but not horrible, being that you did some damage to the economy.
A tough round to lose, and it was a little bit of an expensive round to say the least as well, but it was a really good take onto C there. VK getting some really good clean shots with his 3K and hiding in some good angles, but High Tide really started to look good there. They're starting to play a little bit more together with Banjo always buddying up with a friend, and the retakes seem to be really good. So High Tide, maybe that's the strategy that they gotta go for. They gotta use their utility, the fade hunts, the fade dogs. They gotta continue to use this utility to be able to find them, as well as to stall KC out, because that seems to be working for them.
Yes, very much indeed. So I like this kind of default play, but do you have an op? I don't think so. But still an aggressive angle, and an aggressive angle that has been punished. Petrichor struggling to get any momentum onto this half so far. Just a little bit of some slow play, trying to find their picks. And it has worked so far for KC. And with that one pick and the one person down in B, that has brought in 3 players over from High Tide. So luckily they are somewhat close to the A-bomb site, so they can go ahead and take this for free essentially. And honestly, a little bit of a blunder from VK using this Rosa Raze ult on a save round. So, a tough situation to be in, but Trico, even with the main character shields up, Tavasi is able to get that kill. So now a 4v4 situation. Oh, but Banjo doesn't have the awareness to clear right directly below them. VK finds 2 on the round. Drag finds 1 with Timmy the Turret. A really nice cross setup here from KC, though. I don't know how High Tide is going to break this one up. No smokes online. They have to manually clear this. VK is going to find 1 and 2 to get the 4K on the round. Really impressive stuff. VK is clearly heating up with 10 and 2 this half so far. We're only 5 rounds in.
We're only that many rounds in, and KC getting another one on the board. We did see that early pick from Trico there, but VK being able to get 4, someone that does have to stop him, and I think High Tide has a number of people that can do it. So it'll be interesting to see this round with KC headed towards that C site. High Tide's just remaining firm in their default, with Petrichor still going B, still going for that lurk, with 2 people with early aggression on C.
Oh, this Gecko Flash is going to connect. And the jig is up that somebody is going to be in contesting Mount, and Rosa's exchanged, but 1 from VK, 1 from Tavasi. Tough situation to be in, however. But I like that they're stalling this so much, but however, it's just a 2v5 scenario, so don't get too aggressive, Banjo, because you're going to be peeking into an entire team here. So Vulnerable is going to come out. Banjo is able to find 1. Tavasi needs to connect with somebody. Can't find it on Byzantine. Finds 120 damage onto Byzantine, but that just isn't quite enough. And now, even though they bought so much time on C, nobody has rotated. So little does KC know that that's just not the case. They're still choosing to rotate away after such a large gunfight on A. I mean, could just be a caster point of view, but it certainly seemed like they knew that almost everybody was on C, yet nobody tried to take space. Oh, an unfortunate shot to connect through the smoke. VK finds 1 on the Odin spamming Drag, and Otter finds 1 on Petrichor. It's all up to Aki. their team is not in the greatest financial situation. I mean, they weren't in the greatest financial situation at the start of this round either. I mean, Aki is sitting with a Vandal and half shields. Is able to find one though, first of the half. So are finally on the board. VK in a nice off angle, somehow doesn't die, and is able to get another kill onto Aki, sitting at 12-2 now.
Aki caught between a rock and a hard place. We do see the high tide timeout coming in after what can only be seen as a crushing round, with Savasi and Banjo trying to get that early aggression onto the mound there, and it did not work out in their favor. KC being super patient, super tentative, something we saw at the beginning of the last map, where there seems they're starting to understand high tide a little bit and how they play. High tide really not budging from their sights. So KC deciding to play a little bit more slow there, and it worked out into their favor. And I can see, I don't know about you, Retired, but do you see they're kind of being tempo makers right now, being slow, being fast, and it seems to be working out in their favor in understanding it. Is this an IGL div? Is this just KC getting the shots that they need? Or is this a high tide blunder? What do you think?
I'm going to say it's a combination of IGL diff and KC's hitting shots. I mean, VK is on one right now. I mean, like I said at the end of the previous round, sitting at 12-2. That's like a Smurf right now. You know what I mean? This guy is prime. And not the easiest situation when you're going up against somebody who's feeling themselves and you clearly don't have the momentum in your favor. It's kind of hard to combat that. Now, I think I would say a little bit of an IGL diff. However, I think at this point, I think they're starting to get some mental toughness coming into play for KC and high tide. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And KC's just able to shut down whatever high tide is saying at them. I mean, look at this push. 4 kills. And all shut down. Drag left alone on an island on A, but doesn't matter because they're not there. Tough situation to be in, but as I mentioned, tough situation. I mean, I like the play to try to get aggressive, and you have 4 players there, but.
And I will say the amount of respect I have for high tide just increased exponentially after a timeout, calling it on a save. Not really sure what to do there. I definitely respect them a lot. We do see some mixed buys here, and we finally see our first op pick up of the match. Petrichor on A, ready to receive these players that seem to be getting ready to push here. High tide really needs to catch up on this game plan here. This is their moment to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that, oh no, Trico completely avoids the paranoia, but is unfortunately unable to capitalize and falls to Vasi. So Petrichor now sitting here with an op, which I don't think was exposed because Trico only saw Petrichor with the util out, not necessarily a gun. So the op is still not even a possibility in the eyes of KC. One thing that we have seen KC do consistently though, oh, that could have been dangerous for both players, both just barely missing, is oftentimes you see teams try to take rumble control and then move from there. However, KC is taking mound control and doing what they will from that point on. So a couple ults online, Sewerb is able to find one and kind of equalize this position here. Double lockdown situation. However, with the door open, it's possible that this lockdown could go down. Byzantine is able to find one because of it, but it doesn't secure the lockdown instead. Instead, 2 players are detained. Now it's all up to VK just to stall for time. Drag is completely unaware. VK is able to capitalize, but is left at 30 health, so Breach All is online, and it is going to get utilized. Arosa, Petrichor finds 2, and now it's a 1v2 situation, but Bomb is down and time is ticking. Who can find the kill? Petrichor finds 3 on the round, drops the op for a Phantom, finds 3, and grabs the op once again.
Once again, what can I only say but utter sheer chaos, and it wouldn't be an Apprentice semifinal without both KJ ults happening at the exact same time here. High Tide making it a little bit of expensive and having a lot of ults online really were in their favor. Petrichor landing his shots there, getting the 3K and stopping the KC momentum that they seem to have. Yes, this might seem like an attack-sided map, but Petrichor and the High Tide are defending as best as they can, as proven with this round. KC headed a little bit towards A here with a little bit of presence on B and C.
Yeah, and still, I believe. Oh, that's huge that Tavasi was able to take that instead of Petrichor, because Petrichor surely would have been doomed with the op in hand. Can't get away. Tavasi, oh my goodness, almost finds a crazy timing. Aki in such a nice position though, is able to find one. Trying to take a little bit more of a too big of a bite than what they could chew, but is able to get some damage on Byzantine as well. So 2v3 now pushing upstairs, but is going to run straight into this alarm bot that Byzantine has placed down. Byzantine is weak, so it's very much winnable. But with smokes down, paranoia, full util, and drag sitting at 2 and 8, this is going to be a tough situation. You might want to just grab the op and save it, but it's going to be a tough situation to be in. Paranoia is out, and tough situation for drag, and 2-7 so far in this half in favor of KC.
In favor of KC, and Petrichor definitely caught between what I can only say is a case of the Valorant timing. Petrichor getting caught out there, not able to protect Tavasi's body, and 2 KC members being able to watch that was as soon as Tavasi gets the kill. Immediately dies MF Drag, which is actually High Tide MF Drag, shall I mention, able to be stuck in a 1v3 situation and doing the best that they possibly can here. 7-2 on behalf of KC. KC looking to keep that momentum going forward, and High Tide just looking for as many rounds as they possibly can get.
Well, look at this. Wow, Drag is able to find the punish and an equal exchange, which is very good for High Tide here, because that's 2 guns down. And if they are able to get these guns, if KC fails to protect them, this could easily sway into the hands of High Tide and giving them potentially a 3rd round of this half. And once again, KC likes to do this, where they show a lot of presence, cut sound, and go somewhere else, and it leaves teams like High Tide guessing for quite some time. And surely that Raze bot, Boombot is hurt. Same thing with those shots, but interesting play here. Can VK find one? No, Tavasi finds one on VK instead, but runs out of ammo. So Petrichor finds one with the Sheriff though, and now it's a 1v2 situation. Guns are down, however. Petrichor could very easily get one, which they choose to do here. So a 1v2 situation, 2 ults online. It's a tough situation that C-Rib has found themselves in, but it's planted for backside, planted for CT, and the Fade Util is not going to find anything. You need a round here, so you think it's possible to run here and use the Fade ult, but oh, does this connect both players? No, it does not. And Petrichor sticks, and Aki finds the final kill.
The final kill indeed. What a thrifty round on behalf of High Tide there, being able to kind of equalize the round early on, making it a 3v3, and then monopolizing on that into the last round, making it a 2v1, working together, using their utility to clear sight, and then having one stick the bomb, pros don't fake, and the other hold off there. It really stuck between a rock and a hard place in that 2v1 there, but it does not cause to... We'll see how this momentum allows... let's see if this stops the momentum of KC. Woo! That's what I'm trying to say.
Now, 3 potentially... Oh, what a shot from Banjo. Potentially 3 straight rounds, maps, I should say. We could see an 8-4 half that KC has led. And the question is, which side do they end up? Do they end up on the 50% of losses that they had at this scoreline, or the 50% of wins? Trico slowly inching forward. Drag, oh my goodness, may have found an incredible timing, but has made just too much noise and gets Trico to turn around. KJ ult does get dropped, so lockdown in play no longer though. Petrichor does find one, escapes with their life as well, so a really nice combination of Breach Aftershock and Petrichor's Lurk, but Petrichor wasn't ready for another gunfight in Mound. Now a 3v3 situation. Banjo is good connect with the flash, but Aki finds a really nice kill, and Tavasi with the ult is going to push them back. So they just stick this in. What a spray transfer from Tavasi, getting 2 on that round. Really well played. Potential 8-4 once again.
Potential 8-4 once again. My jaw is on the floor. High Tide being able to not only stop the momentum there, but Petrichor with the craziest flank, almost causing a little bit of a pinch on behalf of KC there, getting the KJ ultimate and a kill, escaping with their life. Trico getting a really good opening pick on Drag, but it just wasn't enough. Tavasi getting a really good placement in what was almost seeming to be a really bad spike placement on behalf of KC. They're gonna have to step it up here to make it 8-4, otherwise it'll be a 7-5 half for KC.
And Petrichor has the ult online. They can't seem to connect though, and that is going to be opt-down. So a lot of util being invested on this C take that has now been completely empty, being that Petrichor has left that C site to the afterlife. But premature Aftershock is not going to connect onto the Wingman, so Wingman is going to get plant down, and it is in quite a tricky spot here. It's very wall bangable from Mound, and BK is going to find one on Banjo, but Tavasi finds one of their own. BK with a 3K on the round, and an ult invested that wasn't a Rosa. 20-5, and once again an 8-4 half.
An 8-4 half. All I have to say at the end of that round is, ew! What did we just watch? KC is known for its aggressive takes and being able to determine their tempo, and they did it great that round. High Tide wasn't quite sure what type of KC they were going to get, but they got a KC that was hyper aggressive, lots of ults online, and High Tide making the respectable decision to back off, play a 5-man retake, and it still just wasn't enough, but it's okay, making it 8-4. We all know how we feel about that. High Tide's come back from worse, come back from this exactly in map 1. High Tide looking towards a little bit of a default here. KC stacking A little bit. We've got a game to go and watch.
Absolutely. We have quite a round on our hands. KC has won every pistol round after going up 8-4. So the question is, can High Tide finally win a pistol round after being down? Petrichor taking some damage, sitting at about half health now. A nice line just to stall and potentially give Tavasi an advantageous gunfight. Not quite going to work. And Banjo is able to find one, but Otter finds one as well. Petrichor, after initially being blind, is able to find one. Banjo finds another of themselves. So BK trying to be the answer to the problem that is known as High Tide. But a really equal position here. Both Omens extremely weak. One info, one raid buff. Who is going to come out of this one on top? Aki finds the kill on Seawurb, so now a 2v1. Petrichor finds VK and gives them their 6th death in 13 rounds.
Wow, what a round on behalf of High Tide. They're solidifying their win with the pistol round. I'm still amazed over here at the KC scoreline of a 21-6 VK, but Tavasi and the rest of High Tide are not letting that deter them with that win, making it 8-5. We're seeing a very aggressive buy on behalf of High Tide, although we do see some stingers and a little bit of a Marshall play, and it looks like the majority of them are headed into A site with 3 of KC members ready to accept them.
Yeah, it is an interesting buy, to say the least. I mean, both times you saw Casey winning pistol, and both Trico and VK buying half shields and Vandal or Phantom. And that is the complete opposite here that you see from High Tide, opting for SMGs primarily, and Tavasi with a Marshal, not even an Outlaw. So it's an interesting situation, and to be honest, this could very easily fall into the hands of KC. I mean, they have full Rebel control, and High Tide has made noise C, so it's very possible that this could go into the hands, right into the hands of KC if util isn't used to break up that crossfire. However, it's all up to Tavasi against Petrichor here, who's trying to clear this angle, but time has been bought, so C-Rub is now completely blind. Petrichor TP's on top, but it's going to fall. So Banjo and Aki both find a kill of their own. VK spots the remaining players from High Tide, and this is very much an A hit. However, time is running low, but that isn't going to stop the team from taking this bomb site and getting bombed down. Drag finds 2 to close that round and bring this to a 2-round game. A really, really important pistol round to win.
Indeed, indeed. High Tide being able to use their gun advantage there into their favor there with a couple of multi-kills coming out on behalf of High Tide there. It was very exciting to be able to see that and see that semifinals. It ain't over till it's over, and High Tide is going to be using the last of their energy on map 3 to be able to try to win as many rounds as they can. And KC's got to step it up. Lotus, yes, historically known as an attack-sided map, but KC's going to have to make it a defense-sided map if they want to win this game.
Yep, and you know, oh, what a shot from Tavasi. That's a huge opening pick as well on the Byzantine, who has one of the guns. So that's also Sentinel down, so if they just grab the gun and leave, they very well could do that, because this C site's essentially free. But looking at PC, the fast rotate, they are totally ready to play this full retake off of this the Gecko wall, which is blocked right there. DK hunting for the KJ util, which is found. Gecko wall does connect. Trico finds one on accident. Box finally falls. VK with a heads-up play on Petrichor, who is flanking. Players are weak. How did he not get blind? Stinger from that range just isn't going to do it. And finally a round goes to KC on this defense path. This next round is going to be incredibly important.
It is going to be incredibly important. And yes, they have the guns in their favor here, but KC choosing to play a little bit more of a retake there. I mean, like, sorry, Tavasi getting that opening pick too was just not only incredible on behalf of High Tide, but shows just how much they have still left in them with that Marshall kill. And we did see some really great plays on behalf of VK and Trico getting onto site when they needed to. Drag sitting in a corner with the Spectre, but like you said, the Stinger at that range ain't gonna hit nothing. And we're going to see an exciting round with the majority of the players headed towards A site. Pure chaos coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my goodness, ships passing in the night. Look up, he's right there. Oh my god, he's so blind. How do you come out of that one alive? C-Rub with a gun disadvantage too, but Petrichor, I'm sorry, C-Rub left at such little health. Wow, what a fight for A main. And I guess it's safe to say that KC won that one. Still 3 players holding this site though. And, oh, Tavasi trying to entry without any util, walk straight into a crossfire setup that gets absolutely punished by KC. So now, 3v5 situation, 2v5 situation after Banjo gets found by VK. We're starting to see High Tide break their coordination a little bit. 3 players, each dying on individual parts of the map, completely separated from their team.
30 seconds left.
Tavasi getting a little bit too antsy. And once your entry falls and your breaches on the opposite side of the site can't really help, it's a tough situation to be in. So High Tide are just going to save this round. And to round 16, 17
10
we go.
seconds left.
Nice triangles from Becky. Ooh, now some lines.
I say we're getting geometry up in here, and Sova's not even in the map. A good, incredible round there. Wow. Definitely, we see some savers in chat, and that's definitely the way to play this game, especially when the stakes are so high here. We are seeing a little bit of a KC dominance, but that doesn't mean that High Tide is out of it. We've seen High Tide come back from worse in this series in it of itself here. There is a lot of hope going into this next round, though. We do see everybody forcing up, and let's see if that works in their favor.
Yeah, and KC might have the advantage here, being that, you know, it's midnight, EST at least, and they have coffee to sip on. I mean, they have the energy. The question is, does High Tide have the same energy? And it looks like Banjo does with that first open pick. Tries to find a second, will connect onto VK after a really nice breach flash. Starting to play off of his own util. T-Herb going to connect with the Paranoia, stalls this push into B. And by opening that door, has now gotten KC questioning where this hit is going to end up. Now with some initiator util, Byzantine is going to get spotted by the Haunt, and Tavasi will now take sight. Trapped by the swarms. But look at Drag finding excellent timing onto the Smokes player. Oh my goodness, what a timing! Tavasi finds one more, and now it's all up to Otter.
30 seconds left.
In a 1v5 scenario with Breach Alt online, not really ideal, to say the least. And with the time as well, High Tide choosing to give Aki the plant so that they can get their ult for this upcoming round. Tavasi just needs to hold this flank. And that is a flank held.
That is a flank held, and I'm gonna be honest here and say when I was watching Byzantine's POV with Tavasi on C, I closed my eyes because I knew what was coming, and I knew that the Valorant timing was not on his side there, and then leaving poor Otter caught between not only a rock and a hard place, but in a 5v1 situation where Tavasi is just ready in the angles, and High Tide there playing a really good round with Drag getting a lot of space on A and being able to move that momentum over, getting a little bit of early action on C to convince KC that they were there, and then moving towards A. Let's see if High Tide continues to default here.
Yeah, and in order to maintain at least a little bit of momentum, or really just prevent KC from getting some momentum, that round was huge. I mean, not an easy one to win, being that it wasn't the perfect buy, coming right off after a loss in the first buy round of the half, but I like the idea. Now, there might be a little bit of a fake here. There is a Fade Out online, and there's 3 players on C. Banjo flashing into B. Doesn't see anything other than a KJ turret, which is going to get broken, and that is going to draw eyes over towards B. However, this could just end up being a C hit if Trico finds an opening kill. Alarm bot down. Oh my goodness. Tavasi uses the ult. Connect onto Trico before the shield can get onto the body of Trico. All these T names is
30 seconds left.
messing up my brain. So Breach Alt no longer online. However, a couple alts invested. What a shot from the lurking Drag, looking like Brimmy with the Hemi #bang out there. But time is running low, and if KC can stop this plant from happening on A, this round is all but secured. Drag finds a second on the round with excellent lurk timing, and Bomb is going to get down. Finds 3, now hunting for 4. It's all up to Byzantine in a 1v3 scenario. 2 alts online. If worse comes to worse, Lockdown can be invested. Great Fade Eye is going to let Drag swing and pick up their 4th for the round, going absolutely huge.
Hightide definitely changing up their game style a little bit there, allowing Drag as a KJ to not only lurk a little bit, but play the way that Drag knows best, which is a little bit aggressive, a little bit lurky, but a little bit more on the silly, fun, goofy side, and we love to see it because Hightide currently needs every round possible. KC not able to stop the plant there, leaving Busy Team stuck in a 1v3, and we do see quite a number of ults online still. This could be anybody's game, 10 to 8 for KC.
Absolutely, and I think Trico is just waiting to hear some kind of noise over here onto C in order to use this ult. And there's the shield, but no ult invested. Oh my god, he can't quite react to the teleport in time. The breach flash comes in after he finds that kill. And this site has been pried wide open 4v4 scenario. Gecko ult online, but 2 post-plant ults online as well for the side of Hightide. Now, KC doesn't have the perfect buy, but that isn't going to stop KC from investing in ult of their own. Not going to connect, but with 1 ult invested, that's going to get the KJ ult invested. And that is going to contain 2 players, 2 of the 4, and all that's going to do is stall for time. Hightide playing the super discipline, knowing that they don't need to push and hunt for those kills. Oh, what a shot from Drag. No need. Surely. Oh my goodness, they're just going to take it. Oh my gosh, a devastating loss. You could have invested the breach ult, but after breaking the Gecko util, what a play. It made it sound like Gecko was defusing, but they weren't. It was actually Seaverb.
In the words of the great Hightide player Aki, what the tuna did we just watch? Honestly, that was probably the most big brain play I've seen in this entire semifinals. KC getting a round that they desperately needed. Hightide looking around, not sure what to do, but we still have some important ults online for this very important round.
Oh, nice jiggle from Tavasi. Kind of aware that VK likes to use the op here. But what a round to lose. That is a little bit of a random swinger. What a shot from Tavasi. VK with an unfortunate whiff. And that is going to... Oh my goodness, that is going to get Petrichor to ult into CT, but it gets pinged out. It was very much heard. Tavasi once again winning Trico's ISO ult duel. So I think Trico's now 0 for 3 on the ISO ult. Petrichor does find a pick on KJ despite them being aware that Petrichor could be into CT. Now, a 4v2 situation, still very much losable. If Andrew can just stay alive, it's going to get huge. They know where both players are. This is a dangerous spot for Drag to be in. That door stays open for quite some time. Doesn't find any damage, actually. And after losing that previous round, I don't blame Banjo for attempting to invest the breach ult, but this could get dangerous. However, Otter's extremely weak, and that is going to give a kill to Petrichor. And a little bait and switch action. He's going to give Petrichor a 3k. And Hightide 2 rounds from taking the lead.
2 rounds from taking the lead. And there we see it. The KC timeout, which I feel like has been a long time coming, and I'm sure a lot of us are sitting at the edge of our seats feeling the exact same way. Hightide just had a big round there. Tavasi really being the kryptonite for KC Trico there. Her not being able to hit the shots. Tavasi being able to hit his. Petrichor being able to play a very aggressive Omen style there, and Drag just not being able to get the kill. KC honestly definitely getting a little bit excited there. They pushed aggressively onto site and it just didn't work out in their favor. I can only imagine what BK is saying to his team now. We do know him to be quite the animated IGL in these moments. Retired. What would you be saying to your team if you were on KC right now?
You know, that's a good question. Maybe just try and take a little bit of change of space. I think the op was the right play. So hold our mental. If we win this round, that's great. We're on a save. So that's actually monumental if we win this round. However, if we lose this round, that's okay, because next round we'll get an op hopefully back into our hands. I think that op will prove to be really strong.
It will be, and seeing just how much money there is on High Tide here, Casey's got to play this round very smart.
I like the aggression from High Tide here. Taking Mound control early. I'm sorry, not Rebel control. In fact, VDC were the ones who took Mound control. 4-man take on the Mound. And I kind of like this. Now, Byzantine, if they can find at least one here, will go huge, but unfortunately panics a little bit. But stalls a little bit for the team to rotate. So, Bomb is going to go down, but there's now 3 players on site and 2 players flanking. So, Alarmbot is going to alert the team of that being the case, but VK is going to invest in ult. But, oh my god. It's ult to Banjo, who has a breach ult online. And instead of pinching, Trico is choosing to just push. No! Banjo gets the kill. I thought Trico was going to come out of that cosmetic stun alive. But it's all up to C-Rib. Time is running low. Can they find the kill? Banjo with balls of steel. Time and time again, being the hero. Exactly what the doctor ordered for this High Tide roster.
That was definitely the 5v5 retake that we have been itching for and waiting for in this semifinals match. On map 3, it was anybody's round. No matter if they had the guns or they didn't, KC really pulled out what I can only say is an incredible thrifty type round there. But Banjo winning and finally using that ult that he's been holding on to and been itching to use. And we see High Tide head towards more of a default here with KC waiting for them on C.
Yeah, this could get dangerous. I mean, they have a complete trap play here. There's 3 players sitting in a cross. Oh, and look at this trap! That was such a well thought out plan. You had a Paranoia and a Gecko Flash connecting on 2. So now an advantage for KC, 4v3. 2 ults online, and that play actually got both ults that were online for High Tide down for the count. So the question is, can Petrichor find a kill on Otter, who's playing this extremely well? Got the contact, but not picking up too much, and they are aware that they could have gotten timing up into heaven. So it's now looking back and forth, but Petrichor just waiting slowly but surely to see if they swing. Now Petrichor getting a little antsy. But the question is, do these 8 players clear tree?
30 seconds left.
Maybe a tough situation to be in, but Byzantine has a judge, which might not
Spike planted.
be a horrible idea. Look at Petrichor trying to find one. Can't connect. Banjo does get a kill onto the judge player in Byzantine, so now a 3v3 situation. 1 ult's left online, and it's an Omen TP. Otter gonna avoid the breach stun. Oh, but VK with the heads up play onto Petrichor, so now a 2v3 situation. Banjo extremely weak. That Capture Shock is going to stall for time, but VK gets 4 on the round, and that is going to be match point, set point, and potentially into grand finals we go.
Potentially. This is still anybody's game, but KCVK absolutely on fire there. Get that 4K. A little bit earlier into the round, it was a 4v3. KC deciding to play a lot more together there and allowing High Tide to be able to pick the tempo that they have and playing that retake. Definitely a smart move. We did see a little bit of a dance between Ottersleeve there and Petrichor, and Petrichor not able to successfully get a kill on that lurk. Definitely played a little bit into the loss for High Tide here. And all players headed towards A here.
Yeah, this oh, what a shot from Tavasi, who's really turned up this map when they really needed him. And wallbang headshots exchanged now. And Tavasi going to find one onto C-Rib, who was already extremely weak. But That is going to be the bomb site taken, and Tavasi finds one on the ropes. So 2 kills for Tavasi now, sitting at 29 health. But they know that this flank is online. An excellent flash breach to stop this push. But both KC, BK, and Otter are able to find one. Petrichor finds one and is going to escape. No, but the ult was canceled. A really heads up play. And Aki, oh my goodness. Biding time is able to break. It's all up to them. They're extremely weak. Can Aki get it done? Thrash is back online. You need to push. No! No, there's no time! Oh my god. Oh, this half. This game over.
God. What did we just watch? And that's it. Sorry, I'm taking over for a second. KC, and what I can only say is the craziest round to be able to get there is headed to grand finals, and High Tide getting taken out in the semifinals. Retired. What do you have to say about that round? My goodness gracious.
Don't know. I mean, thank you for taking over because that just left me speechless. I mean, what? That's how you end it? That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy I was muted because I screamed. Wow, what a way to end a series. High Tide definitely deserves not only the love and respect for what I can only say was a wild series and a hard-fought battle, but big congratulations to KC, VK, and his team. 30-13 to make their way to grand finals to face, who knows, tomorrow. I guess we'll find out. Any last words we have to say before we move into this interview and into the last final bits of the stream here, Retired?
I don't believe so. Well played, both teams. Crazy games. I mean, this semifinals game and last semifinals game from last night have both been incredible watches, both being extremely long. So thank you for sitting and watching them with us. But what a game. So with that, we're going to take a very short break, get our interviewee in, and we'll see you in a minute. Well, well, well. VDC, we are back in action for a quick wrap up and a quick interview with my main man, KCVK, the man of the hour.
Yes.
How
Hello,
are you
hello.
feeling after that
Dude, it feels
monstrosity of a victory?
it feels so good to finally be on the interviewee side and not the interviewing side. I want to apologize for my voice. I probably have no voice, and I also have COVID right now. So I
Blue
am
game.
shot. Flu game, yeah, indeed. But I'm feeling incredible. I'm literally still shaking, and I it's a loss for words, man.
How does it feel that for the second season in a row, A, you're going to be in the grand finals, but B, you're going to be featured on Paco, aka the Retired Gods, what it sounds like to win the semifinals video.
Honestly, it's an honor. I'm actually more excited to be on Paco's What It Sounds to win semifinals again because that OG video was incredible. But no, to be in a second straight grand finals means a lot. We were talking a lot of game about going back to back, and I do genuinely think we can go back to back. And I'm excited to see the MF and OS game tomorrow. But honestly, like we had to focus on tonight, and it was a rough ride, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I knew High Tide was a good team,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't expect that matchup to be so evenly matched. Were you walking into this expecting like guys, like this is gonna be a tough fight?
Oh, absolutely.
And additionally, is the trying to go back to back, is that more of a hindrance, or do you think that's something that's bolstering your guys' confidence?
No, no, it's not a hindrance at all. To answer the first question, we knew that this was going to be a really hard game. High Tide actually was my prediction to win the whole thing if KC didn't. So I actually kind of feel sad that we were the ones that kind of put them to the sword a little bit. So shout out to High Tide. They're a great franchise, great organization. Shout out Sammy. Shout out all of the High Tide players, especially the Apprentice players. We knew this was going to be tough, but it feels good. And for the going back to back, it's definitely a bolster because we're hungry. Playing without Quran as well tonight was a little difficult, and we set a goal to make sure we won so that Quran could play next game, and we want to be able to welcome Quran back with open arms. So
Yeah, that's gonna be a sight to behold. Casey Young Civic in a grand final scenario is a sight to behold. But I think probably one more final question here. A lot of 3Ks in that series from you, and kind of picked up a nickname, VK with the 3K #bang. Do you like that?
you like that? I do like that. Shout out Bring Me with the Hemi #bang. We have to do it every time Paco and I are together. But no, I do thoroughly enjoy that nickname. I had a really rough game one. I'll be the first to admit I had a really, really, really rough game one. I think I just again with being on flu on COVID medicine and then drinking a G Fuel, I was like shaking like crazy. So shout out Combax for getting all the whiffs on stream. Appreciate that. Yeah, then I just decided, like it's time to lock in. I put Apprentice on notice. I did say playoffs VK. It's a different playoffs VK. 77 kills and cross 3 maps on playoffs. That takes skill. I also want to shout out, Trico for almost going kill for kill with me that entire series. Without her, I don't think we would have had the success we had this season without Trico. And the whole team as a whole. I mean, Byzantine, shout out, dude. Like, you're honorary KC at this point because you really killed it tonight. You were a sub. You didn't have to come into this. You didn't have to come into this game caring, and you played 2 scrims with us. You wanted to get stuck in, and honestly, same with Serb. Serb was a late season signing, wanted to get stuck in, and that's the players we look for in KC. And I'm so thankful for all my teammates.
Absolutely, and I think there were some eyebrows, some question marks raised when KC picked up Trico during the off season, and look where they are now, shutting the haters down. They're in grand finals for the second time in a row. VK, thank you so much for hopping on and taking this interview. I believe the fans enjoy it.
I want to
as well.
say one thing. Right? First of all, all right, two things. First of all, good luck to MF and OS. I'm very excited to see the outcome of that game. I'm going to give my prediction, and I do think MF is going to take it. Shout out. Secondly, Apprentice, like you said, made a lot of quick comments about KC and saying how, we're cooked after last season and the signings we didn't make, or Trico and Otter were downgrades from Legend and Frey. I want all of you guys to remember that we're at least in the final two. So unless you're the winning team, you can't say anything about our roster changes anymore. KC on top, brother.
Absolutely. And, I mean, whose house is it?
Oh, it's VK's house. That line was dropped tonight.
Yeah.
That line was dropped tonight, just so you guys know.
That's awesome to hear, man. Well, thank you again for coming on to I was going to say the podcast. This isn't the podcast, but thank you for coming on the stream and taking the interview once again.
And thank you to media. Hold on. Thank you to media. Shout out Combax, Retired God, Queenie, Ken especially for stepping up and producing, and Defao as well for coming in. Thank you. I love all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, media, as well. Thank you for giving me
VK.
a job here. And with that, I believe we will be signing off. So we will catch you guys next time for the MF OS matchup.
Bye. KC on top. KC over dogs.